Again, for the players, I feel good for those guys. Fabulous student turnout. They felt the support, and sometimes playing at home is hard because, you know, we had 4 guys in class till 5:10. Sometimes guys get confused at home. They think they're playing for the people who are coming using their comps. They hear, you know, the noise. And we had a couple of plays in the second half. We'll talk about those tomorrow. A couple of plays in the second half where instead of just banging a single, banging a single, banging a single, we came outside of character. When we shoot the ball, it's nice and smooth and rhythmic. When we don't, we gotta dig down deeper defensively. So those are 2 second halves now where I think we gave up 38 at Vermont and 37 here. So that has to be addressed.
Phil, can you just talk about you know, the start? You had a really good start. I'm not sure what the numbers were, but most of your baskets came off of assist.
Well, I think to be honest with you, that's, you know, what I'm talking about. Like, you come home, you play a home game, and guys get convinced that they have to do more than really what they can do and what they should do. And I thought the start of the game, we had a pop to us. We played at the right pace. I think we had 12 points in the first 4 minutes, and then we slowed down. So we have to look at that next 4-minute segment. But again, these players have been such a pleasure to deal with that you're really anxious to get to practice tomorrow. They do share the ball, although in the second half, again, I think there were 3 or 4 plays, and we'll pull them out and show them on tape, that we didn't as effectively share the ball efficiently as we should have. So, you know, to start against a team that's reeling, and those of you that don't know, that's one of the nicest people in basketball, Jeff Bauer, their coach. He's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man, and he's been a friend of mine for a really long time. So I knew coming in, they're reeling, just lost at home. You jump them early, and you allow that, you know, that student section to become really a sixth man for you.
Can you talk about, Coach, your perimeter defense in the first half of the 0 for 11 from the three-point line?
Well, I'd like to say it was great coaching, but it was numeric. They came in 6 for 41 from 3, and we just played the numbers. And to be honest with you, our perimeter defense in the first half fell off because we were playing a drive team, and when we look and break this game down, we're going to see that they drove the ball to the front of the rim. That's really kind of sloppy. It needs to be addressed. And, you know, the young man Lewis is a hard right-hand driver, and we just kept letting him get to his right hand. We have to do a much better job than that. But it was numeric, really. I mean, we had to play the numbers.
So what did you think of DeAndre tonight?
I thought DeAndre kind of saved his night, to be honest with you. With early, he was great. I mean, he was out there breaking up balls and getting on the break. The 2 passes at the end, he threw a slip pass to Halil, and he got Evan Mashmeyer over the top. He's a player beyond his years, beyond his age, really, and he's got a really nice way about him. He really takes in what you give him. He's a quick study in terms of scouting report. And that's 2 matchups in a row. He had Vokel the other night. He had Lewis tonight. And I'm glad he's on our team.
When you talk about first-year guys, do you have to be cautious in terms of the way you talk about them because you don't want to set the expectation bar too high, or do you feel good?
No. I don't have to worry about expectation. You know that that's being taken care of out in the world, so to speak. You know, he's a he's got a real good base because of the way he's been raised at home. So I'm not worried about people anticipating that he's more than he is. He's a good player, and he's a good player on a good team with a good bunch of teammates.
Coach, what about Halil? You just mentioned him earlier. He was 2 assists shy of triple-double. Can you talk about him there?
Well, he may not be our best player, but he's our most indispensable player. Even I was trying to stretch it out there a little bit in the second half. Try some different guys, let some guys get their feet wet before Saturday night, and you have to put him back in. And he goes back in, and he gets, a freshman a dunk. He gets to the foul line. I'm really happy with his foul shooting. He's been real solid in that area.
Talk about Ronald and Langston's performance tonight.
Well, Lang, I thought, was a little nervous, to be honest with you. Even though he's a fourth-year player, I thought he was a little nervous in the first half and kind of grinding. And then he let loose in the second half. I don't know how many points he had in the second half, but he's a tremendous human being, and everything good should happen for that young guy. Both of them, both he and Ron. Ron struggled yesterday in practice from the foul line and 2 for 5, but if you speak to him, he's beating himself up about that. But I'm delighted with his rebounding and his aggressive nature. 2 assists too for Ron. That's a good number.
Phil, can you just talk about Saturday, the challenge? I mean, you're familiar with Creighton, but that.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that what I just said to the players. I mean, I have to study them. I mean, you start with an All-American, and look, I'm not shy about expressing my opinion. The country is gaga over these freshmen. McDermott's the best player in the country. Tell me who does more for their team. They can give the awards at the end of the year to the freshmen because of the media blitz, but that kid is a magnificent player, and they have an unbelievable way of getting him shots. They're difficult to guard because they spread you out. They run a lot of stuff. We have 2 days to kind of get ready, but we're excited. I mean, he's an All-American, and they're a postseason team, and they've been where we want to go.
How much will you use last year as a motivating factor, or is this just completely different?
Less than 0. I'm not, me, I'm not really into all that, like revenge, and I'm going to look at the report. I have it in my notes right here. I'm going to take last year's report home. I won't watch last year's game. I'll watch their 2 games from this year. But I think, to be honest with you, I think that's overblown as a motivating factor. We know exactly what happened. We participated in that, and we got it handed to us across the board. Not players got it handed to them, not coaches got it. Across the board, we got it handed to us, and now we've kind of warmed up, and I'm sure that student section will be excited, and great game, great opportunity to play college basketball on a Saturday night.
What would you take away from this game as you prepare for Creighton?
That we're undefeated. We've won 2 games, and going back to Aaron's point, I might mention to our team last year we were 2-0 too, and then we didn't play as well or as hard as Florida State became 2-1. So now we have. Last year we had to do it after an overtime game with no day preparation. Now we have 2 days of preparation, and these are teams. Creighton is a team that we're going to play in our league. Calling it the way it is, we're not going to see Marist in our league, but we're going to see. God bless you. We're going to see teams like Creighton in our league.
All right, thanks. Locker room's open.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.